Folks, many people in 2004 will focus on the killing of Mike Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. A couple of weeks earlier, it was the shooting death of John Crawford at a Beaver Creek, Ohio Walmart that also was stunning. Well, there was no charges filed against the officers who came into a Walmart, guns blazing, and shooting John Crawford III. Now the Department of Justice, they're not filing any charges against those officers. You might recall, Crawford was in that Walmart in 2014. He picked up an air rifle off of a store shelf that was actually being sold in the Walmart. It was being sold. It's an open carry state. Someone decides to call the cops and say a black man is in the store waving around a gun in the Walmart, pointing it at customers. Well, what then happens? Cops show up, they come in, guns blazing, they shoot and kill John Crawford III. This is the moment before police stormed the store. You will see the video. Officer Sean Williams shot and killed Crawford after Crawford reportedly refused a command to put the pellet gun down. Now, a special prosecutor said the grand jury had considered charges of murder, reckless homicide, and negligent homicide, but they found Williams' actions, no surprise, justified.
One of these is a real gun. One of these is the gun Mr. Crawford was carrying that day. As you can see, it's very hard to tell the difference, especially if you're 100 feet away, whatever away.
Okay, let me say this again, folks. Ohio is an open carry state, which means people are allowed to carry weapons. Walmart actually sells those weapons. So when you hear them saying, oh, it was hard to tell, again, they actually sell the very gun he was carrying. The officers, if you actually see the video, and we've shown it many times on this show, we've covered this story extensively. The officers stormed in, did not assess the situation. They literally came into the store all amped up, guns blazing, and then if you actually, and I hope we had the video of the actual shooting, where he was on the phone, you hear them yell something, Crawford sort of turns around, startled, backs up, then they fire. That's actually what happened. In a joint statement, the Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division, and the U.S. Attorney's Office of Southern Ohio said, quote, the government would be required both to disprove his Williams' stated reason for the shooting, that he was in fear of death or serious bodily injury, and to affirmatively establish that Officer Williams instead acted with a specific intent to violate Mr. Crawford's rights. The evidence simply cannot satisfy those burdens. Okay, guys, I need y'all to pull the video up, please. Because if you actually see the video, you will see that there was no point where the officers were in danger. Their lives were never in danger. This is them coming down the aisle there. At no point in this video were they ever in danger. Then they said, well, we couldn't prove they violated Mr. Crawford's rights. The law in Ohio says you can carry a weapon. It's an open carry state. Joining us via Skype from Cincinnati is Michael Wright, the family's attorney, managing attorney for the Cochran firm of Ohio. Michael, we have talked on numerous occasions about this story. I've talked to John Crawford III's father on numerous occasions as well. And it is still amazing how all the officer has to say is, oh, I feared for my life. When you see that video, at no point was any of those officers in danger. Their lives were never in danger by John Crawford III.
That's absolutely correct. And I guess those are the magic words that will let every police officer off for any situation. We have video here, as you so eloquently described. We know what happened. These officers should have been charged. If they don't charge in this circumstance, what evidence do they need to ever charge a police officer? It makes no sense. He was in Walmart carrying a Walmart product and was shot and killed. If you can indict, if the federal government can indict a police officer under these circumstances, there does not seem to be any circumstance in which they will ever indict a police officer.
Now, explain for our audience, when I say Ohio is an open carry state, does that mean that you are allowed to openly carry a weapon in a store in Ohio?
That's absolutely correct.
So,
in Walmart, they sell these guns. There's no prohibition. You can walk down the street in Ohio carrying a gun. You can carry an assault rifle. You can carry a pistol. You can carry a gun. It is not illegal to walk down the street in Ohio carrying a firearm.
Now, Michael, does Walmart have any prohibition on carrying in their store?
Absolutely not.
So hold on right there. So Walmart does not prohibit you from carrying a weapon in the store, which means that someone could have a rifle right now and strap it on their back and literally walk into the Walmart and go shopping.
Absolutely.
So when the DOJ says they couldn't prove his rights were violated, they violated his rights because the law allows for open carry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And at no point in the video do you see officers questioning him or taking cover. Sir, please put the weapon down. We need to talk with you. At no point did that happen.
Well, in fact, they lied about it. They said they gave him multiple commands to put down his weapon and that he turned towards them in an aggressive manner. So the video does not bear that out. So not only did they violate his rights, after they did that, they lied about it.
When you see the video, literally, guys, roll the video. You see the officers coming down the aisle, walking straight towards him. There is no way in that video you can hear multiple times. There were 200 cameras in that Walmart store, correct?
Correct. There's 204 cameras in that Walmart store.
Again, I promised his dad that we were never going to forget this story, and it's just sad that the Department of Justice doesn't have the courage to actually step up. And I'm not saying that because Trump is president. We also did not have a Department of Justice that had the courage to pursue a lot of these cases when President Obama was president. And so this is the DOJ being skittish to actually go to trial.
I agree.
Michael, we appreciate it. Tell John's father I said hello.
Will do. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot. I want to quickly go to our panel here. Ray Baker, host of the Public Agenda podcast. Angela Saylor, deputy to the chairman of the Gloucester Institute. Shermichael Singleton, political analyst and Republican political consultant. Again, Ohio, open carry state. He's in a store where they actually sell the weapon. Cops come in guns blazing because somebody called and said, oh, this black man is waving around a rifle and pointing it at people. And he's dead or talking on the cell phone, recent father, and nobody gets charged.
Well, I mean, look, Roland, every time we've seen one of these instances, you have a lot of attorneys, even African-American attorneys, that have stated the burden to prove for the government that a person's, an individual's civil rights have been violated is extremely difficult. And so what that tells me is that we need to pass legislation. I think it's going to take an act of Congress to change what those rules are, what mandates a violation of one's civil rights. And until that happens, you're going to continue to see the same results.
And of course, then Attorney General Eric Holder said that needs to happen, but I still don't quite understand, if the law allows for you to open carry, how is it his rights were not violated by him being gunned down, carrying, even though it was an air rifle, carrying it in a store?
Well, remember, the officer said we gave him a command. Allegedly, he did not
multiple commands.
Obey that command, number one. Number two, Roland, you know this, it's so difficult to prove what someone was feeling or disprove what they were feeling. So if the officer says, in this instance, we heard about this, we saw the rifle, we were afraid of our lives, so we immediately reacted, it's really difficult to disprove otherwise. It's difficult to prove that there was malicious intent, which is why I said we have to change the laws. It's going to take policy change to see a different result.
But Ray, here's what Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee said last year at the town hall that I moderated, the Congressional Black Caucus. Sometimes the DOJ needs to pursue a trial just to at least make the attempt. It seems as if their deal is, well, you know, if we're not sure, we're not going to pursue it. Well, that's the purpose of a trial.
It is, right? The idea with a trial, ideally, is that we're having an opportunity to have the jury of their peers be able to assess. To Shermichael's point, I think you introduced a great point about this, which is we can't prove or disprove the feelings or emotions behind a particular officer. Therein lies the problem.
Right.
So long as officers are shielded by that protection of the ability of, oh, I thought, oh, I feared about this, that, and the third, then we'll see them continue to get off. One last point on this. We heard in the Tamir Rice case, we warned him several times. Then we saw the video where the car pulls up on Tamir Rice
Not even
and jumps
3
out
seconds.
and shoots him. And so if nothing else, beyond the violation of his civil rights, beyond the violation of Ohio state law, beyond the violation of Walmart practices, we're seeing officers who are being caught on video lying, and we still can't even have charges for that. That's terribly problematic.
I agree.
And I mean, I think that the case in Greece is one to look at. I mean, why was it so easy for the young man in Greece to be brought to justice, for them to, you know, say that those people were wrong, and go ahead and bring charges against them immediately, and allow the family to go through their grieving process. So I think America needs to look at really what's holding us up from bringing people to justice, black people to
Racism.
justice.
In
Racism.
this country, all a police officer has to do is just simply say, my life was in danger. That's it. That literally is the magic get out of jail free card.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong. He
Unfiltered.
wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.